Okay, so let's review the lines from your quiz. 4. The huntress had suspended a trusty bow, or a handy bow, according to custom, on her shoulders, and had allowed her hair to blow in the winds, naked as to her knee, and having been collected as to her flowing folds in a knot. And then she spoke, Alas, young men, show if you have seen any of my sisters wandering here by chance, girded or equipped with a quiver and with the hide of a spotted lynx, or pressing the chase or the course with the shout of a foaming or a rabid boar. All right, now these are our new lines, the ones that you got the pony to, the trot, and then we'll go to our new lines. Thus Venus, and then you have to understand the word spoke. So thus Venus spoke, and in response, thus the son of Venus began, and this Orsis is Orsis est. It is a perfect passive from the deponent verb. Okay, so it's not actually passive. You're going to translate it as active, began. So, thus the son of Venus began. None of your sisters, and then another perfect, understand est, has been seen, has been heard, nor has been seen by me. Now this me is a dative of agent. Right? It is dative, but you translate it as by me. Oh, how should I call you, maiden? And this is a deliberative subjunctive. Okay, for not at all to you is the face of a mortal, nor does your understood voice sound like a man. Oh, goddess, certainly, whether you are and understand you are, a sister of Phoebus, or, by the way, Phoebus is Apollo, okay, or one of the bloodline of the nymphs. Whoever you are, may you be happy, and may you lighten our labor. And by the way, these are jussive subjunctives: cis, present, jussive subjunctive; loes, present, jussive subjunctive. Or, I'm sorry, you call them volatives, volative subjunctives. May you. They're light commands. All right. Or may you teach us under what sky finally, and on what shores of the world we have been tossed, or we are tossed. We wander, ignorant of men and of the places, having been driven here by the wind and by the vast waves. Many a sacrificial victim, hostia, will fall to you before your altars by our right hand. And these are ablatives. In other words, he thinks she's a goddess, and if she tells them where they are, he says that they will make sacrifices to her. Little does he know that it's his own mother that he's talking to. By the way, who's the sister of Phoebus? MC, who's the sister of Phoebus? Yes, it's Diana. Interesting that he thinks that. So next, these were your homework lines. So make sure that you have your homework out, and we're going to go over these lines. So everyone get out their booklets, get out your homework, make sure you've got it. Then Venus spoke, understood. Indeed, I do not dignor. It's a deponent. I don't consider myself worthy. Dignor is to consider to be worthy of so great an honor. Right? It is the custom to Tyrian women to wear or to carry a quiver, and to bind their calves, saras, high up with a purple boot. You see the Punic kingdoms, the city of Tyre and of Agenor. Agenor is a person. But the borders are of Libya, or the confines are of Libya, a race unbeatable in war. Dido, the Tyrian Dido, rules the empire, with the city having been made or having been built, fleeing her brother. Long is the injury, and long are the traces of things, or long are the twists and turns. Ambages is a loaded word. It means, in other words, it's a really long story. But she says, but I will follow, or even better here, I will outline the vestigia, the footsteps, or the traces, or the highest traces of the things, or of the situations. So she's going to give them a summary. Vestigia, that's so cute. That's like the footsteps. Vestigia means footsteps, but here she's using it to mean like the bullet points, the highlights of the situation. So one more time. Then Venus spoke. I do not consider, indeed, I don't consider myself, and the negative comes from the hode, it means not. So I don't consider myself worthy of so great an honor. It is the custom, mos. Remember Father Tron? O tempora, o mores, that's the accusative plural of, the nominative plural of mos. So it is the custom to Tyrian maidens to wear a quiver and to bind up their calves high up with purple boot. You see the Punic kingdoms, in other words, Carthage, a city of Tyre and of Agenor. But the borders are Libyan, a race intractable in war, unbeatable in war. Tyrian Dido, and she's called Tyrian Dido because she came from Tyre. Tyrian Dido rules the empire, with the city having been built up, fleeing her brother. The injury is long, and the twists and turns are long. But I will outline the highlights, the traces, the highest points of the situation or of the story. Giving you 20 minutes. I want you guys to try to work out these lines. And you can write in underneath them. And if you finish before the 20 minutes is up, great. Then just resume and press play again on the PowerPoint. So what I want you to do is press pause on the YouTube. Go up to the board all together. Get some expo markers. Work these lines out. And then whichever one comes first, press play and check yourselves. Okay, so press pause. Now, go. Zacchaeus was the husband to that one, to Dido, to that one. He's most rich, or very rich, and your book says Auri, most rich of gold of the Phoenicians, or the most rich of gold of the Phoenicians, and loved with a great love of the miserable one, and that miserable one is Dido. So in other words, Dido loved him very much. For whom the father had given her intact, she's still a virgin, and had joined her in the first omens. But Pygmalion was holding the kingdoms of Tyre, her brother, most or more cruel or more wicked in crime before all the others. And anger came between which and anger came in the middle. In other words, Pygmalion, the king, is jealous of Zacchaeus. So that one, impious, overcomes Zacchaeus before the altars, and blind with a love of gold, secretly overcomes him unknowing with iron or with a sword. And he, being Pygmalion, is regardless secure or carefree, regardless of the loves of his sister. So he doesn't care that she loves him so much. And he, for a long time, hid the deed. And pretending, the bad man, pretending many things, he deceived the sick lover, and that lover's Dido, with a vain hope. So in other words, he said, oh, he'll come back. Don't worry, Dido. He just went away on business. He'll be back. He'll be back. And for a long time, she goes on believing this until her husband finally appears to her in a dream. Ooh, it's getting good. Okay, guys, so if you need to play this over again, start back a minute or so and review those lines one more time to write them down, feel free. But first, I want to tell you about what's coming up in class, okay? On Tuesday, about 15 minutes to correct the passages on the test. So if you correct your multiple choice before Tuesday on a separate sheet of paper and turn them in, and I'll give you back half a point for each one you missed. Then in class, you're going to write out the translations that you chose with the right translation. Second announcement is, that's going to be on Tuesday. Second announcement is, and Miss Rapier, you may want to take cover because I don't think they treat Tuesday as a review day. And we are going to review from lines 180 through, 386, I believe. Yes, 386. We're going to treat that as a review day because on Thursday we're going to have a test over those lines. Now, the test is not going to be as extensive as the last one. In fact, there are going to be 3 passages like the last one. One passage that you cannot choose from. I think you can guess which one that is. One of my favorites. So everyone's going to have to translate that one. And then there will be 2 other passages that are short, 4 lines each, and you get to pick one. So there will be 3 passages, but you only have to translate 2. One you have to translate, and the other one you can choose from. There will be a site penalty 15. I'm sorry, I'll let you know for sure on Tuesday. But I just wanted to give you a heads up because this weekend, if you've got a busy week next week, this weekend is the weekend to study those lines. It's 200 lines. We've been over them a lot. But I just think that before we add another 200 lines to the mix, we should take a test and then put those behind us and start with the next unit of lines. I think a lot of you also could use a grade boost, so this is your chance. I will be available next week. It's a crazy week, but I will be available on Wednesday afternoon for a major study session if you want to come. Alrighty then, I will see you guys on Tuesday. Your homework is a worksheet. She'll pass it out. And you have one more worksheet if you have time to do that's labeled Lesson 7, Book 1 with comprehension questions. So if you have time, if there's time left today, finish those. And then you can start on your homework. And it's a worksheet that the sub has. All right, have a good weekend. Email me with any questions, concerns.